Alright, so these are going to be the top 5 brawlers in season 38, and all of this is totally going to be in my opinion, so don't forget that. So with that being in mind, let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, so coming in with number 5 is going to be Squeak. So the reason why I put Squeak in number 5, because I think he's really limited on how you can play him. Like for example, Brawl Ball, as you see right now, he does a lot better because it's just a smaller map. And so take Showdown for example, he won't do really good in that game mode because Squeak is really just a team player and a controlling brawler, so he can get countered really easily from a tank brawler, and if he has other brawlers to help him out, it would be a lot more easier for him. And so more of the pros of Squeak, I believe that his build makes him a complete beast, and also I think that Squeak's super, it just makes him a lot better since he can throw his super over walls. So honestly, that's a plus in my book. It just makes him more versatile, and as you can see by the gameplay, Squeak is already doing really good just by controlling the game overall. Alright, so for the brawler that places in number 4 is gonna be none other than Mr. P. And I know you might be thinking Mr. P, and trust me, hear me out when I'm telling you this, that Mr. P in number 4th is a really good pick, and here's the reason why. He can literally play on any game mode, and I would think that Brawl Ball is probably one of the hardest maps to play for him, but it's not that bad if you have a good comp. And I also know that he doesn't do as much damage, but his build does make up for it, and the fact that he can do constant damage to another brawler by hitting them over walls, so he's super annoying, especially with his porter. He can use that as his own defense, or use that as his own wall, or he can even locate other brawlers that are hiding in the grass. So honestly, Mr. P is a really good versatile brawler, and if you ask me, if he had his hypercharge, he would be a lot higher in my list. So with that being said, I honestly want to know what you guys think about Mr. P. Let me know in the comment sections if you guys would even have him in your top 5. Alright, so for the brawler that's going to be placing in 3rd is going to be Stu. And so one of the reasons why I picked Stu for the 3rd spot is because he counters a lot of brawlers, and he can also form the map of how he wants it with his gadget, and also that he can get his super right away makes him a complete beast. And also what's another plus is that he can play in multiple game modes, so honestly he's a really solid pick. And also I think if you have the right build on Stu, you can do really good as well. And I honestly think the only downside to Stu that he is kind of skill based, so if you practice with him a little bit, you can obviously do a lot better. So let me know in the comment section if you guys agree with this pick for the 3rd spot in my top 5. And for the brawler that's going to be number 2 is going to be Spike. So one of the main reasons why I picked Spike for number 2 is because first off, he got a buff to his health, so he's not as a squishy brawler, and honestly I feel like anybody can pick up Spike and be good with him, so 95% of the time you're gonna be good with Spike. And hear me out when I tell you this, I don't really think that Spike has any skill. I honestly think he's just a brain rot brawler, but nothing bad to say about him, to be honest, because he's still really fun to play with. And about his build, it's honestly to your preference of how you really like to play Spike, but to his gadget, I honestly think that the cactus that he drops down is a must, because it really saves him from getting one tap, and even though he's still got a buff to his health, he's still gonna need as much health as he can possibly get. And for the game modes, Spike can really play in any of them. He literally ranges from a long range to a short range, and he can even become a controlling brawler. So if you really want to push a brawler, I do highly recommend Spike, and the only advice I would possibly give to you is just to keep your distance when you're playing with him, because he can easily die. So that's why I think that Spike is a really good fit for number 2. Alright, so for the number 1 spot, I chose Surge. So the number 1 reason why Surge took the number 1 spot is because he's very well rounded. The fact that he can jump over walls and you can level him up throughout the game just makes him a counter beast, and the fact that he does have a hypercharge just makes him even more OP than he already is. And he also fits in 90% of the game modes, and honestly if you're doing really good with Surge, most likely you're gonna win the game. And another really big plus with Surge, that you have 2 different type of builds you can run, so you're basically able to play Surge with how you like. And I would give you the same advice with Surge like I gave you with Spike, is just keep your distance and you would do just fine. And the only difference is that you can take a couple hits from other brawlers because he has more health than Spike, so it's a little bit harder to get 2 tapped from another brawler. And he's also a really solid pick for Power League, and he was one of the highest brawlers that I was able to push. And honestly, the only thing that I can say negatively about Surge is that his shot doesn't go through things, so keeping him on the highest level and just keeping your distance like I said earlier is your best bet for winning every game. Alright, so that's going to be my top 5 brawlers. Obviously if you guys think differently, let me know in the comment section, I'll really appreciate that. And every brawler that you've seen in this video today, I have pushed them over 1,000 trophies, and if you want to see those videos, I'll leave those those links in the description. I just go in a little bit more depth to each brawler. But with all that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Remember to like and subscribe. I will really appreciate it. I'm almost at 200 subs, so if you guys drop a sub, that'll be great, and I'll see you guys in the next one.